brethren, I want to make this quick video to share with you an example of the many that I have shown of the stupidity of people's thinking. I talked about Matt Powell a lot in the past, and one of our conversations when I invited him with sincerity and civility to a biblical discussion, which he turned down because he's an egotist. Unfortunately, I don't have that conversation. I wish I did, brethren, so I do apologize. You'll just have to take my word for it. Or don't believe me. That's up to you. But I do ask you to believe what I'm saying, but you don't have to. I can't make you, so whatever. But one of the first conversations that we had when he... Oh, you know what? It was the first conversation. And Matt Powell was saying things like, "You're damning people to hell. You're preaching a false gospel, and Christ's going to turn you over to everlasting torment." And then he said a comment like this. He said... And by the way, this is on Facebook Messenger, by the way. And he says, "Well, it's a good thing you don't have a lot of subscribers, because I would then have to start refuting your videos." So basically, he's concluding that just because I don't have a lot of subscribers, that means I'm a heretic and that I'm wrong and that I am teaching false doctrine, and it'd be a waste of his time to try to refute me. Brethren, I've never seen one video. I mean, maybe there is one out there. But I've never seen any videos of refuting what I preach. Why? Because they can't. I'm not uplifting myself. I'm uplifting the King James Bible. The doctrine I hold to is biblical and correct. They can't refute what I'm teaching. They can't. I've never seen it. That just because I don't have a lot of subscribers, that means it would be a waste of time for him to try to refute me. It's so stupid. Let me prove that. In Jesus' earthly ministry, let's use YouTube terminology here. Subscribers, okay? How many subscribers did Jesus have during his earthly ministry? 12. 1, 2. Only 12. However, only 3 of those subscribers, Peter, James, and John, were staying current with his most recent videos that he would post. Again, YouTube terminology. So, just because he has only 12 subscribers, according to Matt Powell's argument and his statement, that means we should not pay attention to Jesus because he only had 12 subscribers. Now some of you say, well, wait a minute, Anthony. What about all those multitudes that followed Jesus and his apostles? Ever read John chapter 6? He preached a hard message. And those multitudes, many of his disciples, they could have been hundreds, they could have been thousands, I don't know. But there were very many of them who walked with him. And they were saying things like, this is a hard saying. And they had a hard time interpreting, understanding, and accepting what he was preaching. And in John chapter 6, near the end of the chapter, it says basically, they walked with him no more. They turned back. Many of his disciples, many, it could have been hundreds or thousands that walked away. I don't know. That's a lot of people who unsubscribed to Jesus Christ channel in just 2 minutes. 2. I've never seen that happen. People unsubscribing to your channel in just 2 minutes by that magnitude. So I guess according to Matt Powell, Jesus was a heretic and he was a false teacher, and Matt Powell's not going to waste his time refuting Christ. Now, I'm not saying that I'm better than Christ in any way. Christ is perfect and I'm not. Because I have a fallen, sinful nature, okay? But I have only 100 subscribers, and that's nothing. So then, if Jesus had 12 subscribers, I have 100, so then why doesn't Matt Powell try to refute my videos? I mean, I'm not saying to exalt myself, I'm just saying I have a lot more subscribers than Jesus did in his earthly ministry. So why doesn't he try to refute my videos? I'll tell you why he can't. His argument that if you have a lot of subscribers, that means you're teaching correct doctrine, that's what he's implying. Or that if you have a lot of subscribers, that means it's worth his time to try to refute you. Well, once again, Jesus only had 12. And he can't refute Christ. He can't. Because Jesus taught against everything that Matt Powell believes regarding once saved, always saved, eternal security of the believer, blah, 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 and on it goes. That doesn't make any sense. So you're slandering somebody just because they don't have many subscribers? And supposedly they're not worth your time. Well, then to be consistent with that argument, you would have to conclude that Jesus is not worth your time either, Matt. I mean, look at the apostles. How many subscribers did they get in one day? Acts chapter 2. 3,000 souls. So are you going to start refuting what they said? Because what they taught is not eternal security of the believer. They did not teach once saved, always saved. They taught against it. By the way, Peter taught baptism is linked to salvation. Acts 2:38. How about that, Matty? You see, very dumb thinking that he has. And as a Baptist for 15 years, as I was previously, I know what I'm talking about. I thought the same way. So, brethren, very dumb thinking that these blockhead, brainwashed Baptists have. They're implying that just because you don't have a lot of subscribers, in their mind, you're not only a waste of their time, you're also a false teacher, because most people would not want to follow a heretic like you. Jesus only had 12 subscribers, so does that mean he was a heretic? I mean, he caused multitudes, many of his disciples, John chapter 6 again, to unsubscribe to his channel in just 2 minutes. So then, what do you say to that, Matt? Was Jesus a false teacher? Because he drove away so many people and went back to his original 12 subscribers and asked them if they would basically unsubscribe too? Come on, Matt. You know, I've seen from many of your videos that that's as far as your intelligence goes, which is not far. Love the Lord Jesus Christ, fear God and keep his commandments, and read and believe the King James Bible. Thanks.